You're all welcome. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're very, 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 very welcome. My big family, the Sampon family, my tribe, my community, my people. I am because you are, and I appreciate God for giving you and bringing you to my path. I am so, so grateful. Thank you for being here. I'm seeing Sila. Thank you, Sila, for joining us. If you're here, just indicate, say hi, say hello, and tell from where you are watching. I'm seeing Linda. Hello, Linda. You're welcome to today's very first edition of the Sumpon Talk. It is the Sumpon Business. And yes, Sheila says, oh, yes, I am because we are. That is very true, my sister. And Sheila is watching from Munich. And yes, I am Vera Sampon from the Sampon Social Service and the Sampon Academy. We are doing a business talk because we are discovering that a lot of people want to do businesses, especially from the diaspora, and they have a whole lot of challenges. But today we are not going to be focusing on the diaspora, but precisely on the African youth in Africa. Nonetheless, I think it's a conversation that the diaspora can all profit from it because somehow, somewhere, we got people in the African continent. With me today is going to be my co-host, Elvis Bolifor. He has been a jury for 3 years now and has always been there from the very beginning of the Sampon Masters class. With the Sampon Masters class, we help young people develop and discover who they are, and of course, we help them create businesses. And our motto is we create entrepreneurs for global transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome again to this very first edition of the Sampon Business Talk with Vera Sampon, your co-host, and Elvis Bolifor. You're welcome, Elvis. So how has it been with you? Okay, I hope that the listeners can hear you somehow. I think you've muted your phone. I can't hear you. Can you now? Yes, now I think I can hear you, Elvis. You're welcome. You're welcome, Minosha. Thank you for tuning in, Minosha, and thank you for being a support. We are because you are, and I appreciate that you're here. So today we're having a business talk and a business conversation. Many people have been asking me, how did you do and how do you do your businesses? How did you I succeed in doing what you're doing? And so I thought to myself, instead of having one-on-one conversation with people every time, then it is better to have it online so that the most majority of the people can make use of it. So that's why I'm particularly grateful that you're all here. We had some questions also from our the people that already watched us live the last time, even though it wasn't on business. But some people, after seeing our flyers, were very curious and so sent some questions ahead of time. We're going to be talking about those questions. And yes, so Elvis, you're back. So how are you, Elvis? You're welcome again. I hope that the network in Camera will be fine. You're welcome. I can see Moses, you're welcome. Good evening, sisters. I can see you all watching from Zambia. You're all welcome. It's a privilege to have you all here today. Let me not take much of your time. I think it's important that we go straight to the point and to the business of today. Today we are going to, that's a short overview. We're going to be looking at the aim of this space. Why are we here? And this is to the space of the business, Someone Business Talk is just to inform us, to empower us, inspire us, and then transform followers into leaders. And of course, those who are doing great works already, we want to support them to become change bringers, agents of change. And then, of course, today we're going to be talking about money, 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 money. I think that people like the idea of money, even though I think that money is not all. Money is important, but it's not all. Then we are going to be talking about the attitude, because I think that attitude is so essential if we have to succeed in business. And yes, we're going to be discussing, if time permits, what we need to know about business and business models that have succeeded in the past years and that have proven to be very effective. I'm going to be talking about my own personal business rules that has helped for the years that I've been doing business, more than 11 years today, that has really helped me. And if time permits, I really hope that time really permits for us to have a first conversation on business. We are going to be looking at the Agenda 2063. I think that especially for our African people and the diaspora and the African sons and daughters, it's so important that we understand what the Agenda 2063 really offers, and that we know what it is, because each time we are working with that agenda in mind, it really helps us to be able to shape our projects, our ideas, our businesses in a more sustainable way. And then, yes, I'm going to talk about the master's class that is coming up on August, and then it's going to be focusing on the youth who are based in Africa, because these are the people I really want to support, and these are the people I want to give them the contribution, because I think that the diasporas have enough privileges, and they can actually there's a lot of possibilities here in the diaspora where we are. We just need to have the information on how to go about with the funds which are here. But most of the time, for our African brothers and sisters in the continent, it's usually difficult. So we are going to be talking, of course, on startup funds and how they can get some funds, and what we also offer as our own fund, the startup funds. Elvis, you're back again. Good to see you again. I really hope that this internet will work and keep us. And up to now, I'm not hearing you very well. I hope that, but that the listeners are hearing you. I'm going to be following your lips and hoping that I can read your lips. So tell us about yourself, Elvis. So, I didn't hear you very well. I don't know if my phone has gotten a problem or it is yours, but I don't know if the listeners are hearing my co-host Elvis. Please, if you can hear him, indicate so I know that maybe it is my phone that is having a problem. Good. So I'm not the only one having that problem, Elvis. I think Sheila also says it could be poor connection. I don't know. But now you have muted your phone. Can you unmute so that we can hear you? So I'm going to continue with the business talk. Yes. So I'm not the only one, Elvis. Sila could not also hear you. And Moses can't also hear you. So you see, I'm not the only one. I was beginning to be afraid that my phone has a problem. So maybe check again your network and you check your phone, your mic. Now you're unmuted, so I can't really hear anything. I'll just continue with my presentation of today, and I hope that we're going to get back to you. So let's talk business. When people hear business, I don't know, what do you think business is all about? For those who are watching us, if you're watching us, I like to always have an interactive conversation so that people can share their point of views and then we can interact. And it's always fun if we interact from all over the world. I can see from Ban Emmanuel. Thank you for watching and thank you for coming. What do you think business is all about? What's your point of view about business? Moses, maybe you want to say something, just type in. Sila says a customer service. Thank you very much, Sila. She says customer service. Thank you. Who else says something? We want to interact. Please feel free to interact. That's why we are here. Fomban says he can't hear Elvis using powers from the gods. Okay, that's fine. Elvis, we can't hear you. So let's go back to what is business? What is business? Stella says business is customer service. Thank you very much. A brilliant thing, brilliant answer. Who else have something else to say? What's a business? When you hear business, what's that? And what kind of business? Sheila, do you have a business already going on? She says feasibility has to be defined. Thank you. Do you have a business going on or do you have intentions of creating one? Do any of you having a business going on or you have intention? Nope. She says no. Now, most of the time when people hear business, it's like they were selling things, right? It's like you just see things and then you're going to be selling things. Of course, business is about selling and selling and selling. And the more we sell, the better for the pockets, right? Fomban says, business is buying and selling while securing good relations between buyers and sellers. Thank you. That was a brilliant one, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. So, but what do we sell? Buying and selling while securing. That's a good one. Buying and selling. That's true. Now, but what do we sell? Let's look at the image we are seeing on this on the screen. I guess you're seeing the image. We can see some potatoes chips. What do you think he is selling? Is he really selling the potatoes chips? Ma says is buying and selling goods and services. Okay, it's a good one too. Now, what kind of services? Let's look at the screen now. We are seeing potatoes chips. What is behind the potatoes chips? Are they really selling potatoes chips or something else? If you maybe just jump in something. What are we selling there? Is that potatoes chips really? Or is something else? Is it really buying and selling of goods and services? What's the intention? Now, most of us are using Facebook, right? My question would be, what is Facebook selling? What's the intention behind Facebook? What about laptops? You're all using your laptops and your phones. What was the intention behind Apple? What was it behind Steve Jobs? Ama says brand promotion. Okay, let's go back to the Sila says the name of the restaurant is being sold. Okay, interesting. But look at this image very well. I don't think it's about the name of the restaurant, and it's not all about just the branding and the promotion. It's about the passion behind the people behind these things. Let's take the guy who started up Facebook. It wasn't about branding Facebook, right? But he had the passion to network people. So he is actually selling networking. Now people connect and they come together. So there's a passion. He wanted people to come together. He wanted people to network. That's why he started up Facebook. So it wasn't all about just the branding, but it was much more about the passion that he had within him that people should network and come together, right? So when we are doing business, we want to do business, then we have to always go back to the point of the question: what is the value, the additional value? Now we all know this. I know that you know it, Emmanuel. I know that you've heard about it somewhere, but we've never really taken time to reflect what is the extra additional value I am bringing into this business, into these services, or into this product, right? And that's what makes the difference actually between a good business and a business that is not really good. So, apropos business, now, many of us want to hear about money because today I wrote the fact that you want to start up a business and you want to start up your own business and you need startup funds. So today we are going to be talking about maybe starting up a business. We're going to be talking about getting funds, but I know that the time will not permit us to have all this, so that's why it's not going to be a one-time program, a one-time show. It's going to be every Sunday. We're going to be meeting here every Sunday to discuss on business, to discuss how we can create businesses, what it takes to start up a business. For many people, they think money is the most essential, but I wish I told you money was actually almost the last position. No, and that's actually the fact. When I started up my business 11 years ago, I had no dime with me, right? So if I had no dime, how come I'm still in business till today? So this is to tell you that money is so important, but it is not the first priority for a business. So and that we can also be discussing as time goes on. If you all have your questions, if you have questions, you can always write down your questions. My co-host is just disappeared now. I don't know what is happening with his network, but I'm sure he's going to be following us too on live. If you have questions, just go on and ask your questions. And meanwhile, I continue with the presentation. So I want to introduce you for those who want to do business and who really are passionate about business and all this. I want to introduce you the Business Sample Master's Class and the Startup Fund or the Startup Award. It is an award that I created 3 years back because I thought that for us to achieve the agenda 2063, it will need real support from the diasporas, and it will really need support from those people who are really willing to achieve this agenda 2063. Now, for those who do not understand the agenda 2063, I want you to write it down on Google. Mr. Google got every information about agenda 2063. And so now I can hear you, Mr. Elvis. Now I can hear you. So
right.
you can now talk. Now I can get you. Thank you for tuning in. So you
Thank
can
you.
now talk. Good. Now you
Thank you.
can introduce yourself again.
Okay, Mbolifo Elvis is my name. Begin by welcoming all those who are already on board for the Sampon Masterclass 2020 edition. project that started about 3 years today. So Mboli for Elvis has been the jury for this master class for the past 2 years, and we had a handful of participants. We are hoping that this year I will still be the jury, of course.
Of course, you're going to be the jury. Someone said we never change the team that wins. It's difficult. Changing a team that wins will be very foolish. So we never change a team that wins. Thank you for being our jury, and thank you for your support, because without your support, and I must precise that you're doing that voluntary, it is free will. And for the past 3 years, you've never had a dime from us for doing this work. And it has always been a very, very tedious work to have to select all the participants, all of their projects. I can't do that on my own, but you have been there to support, and we have together selected projects, worked with young people, more than 200 young people, and it has not always been very easy. So that's why I appreciate you the more, and thank you for being on board. Thank you. I thank the gods for allowing the connection to work well now.
I had to move and go out.
Um, Sita has a question, and she says, what was your motivation very someone, and how did you know that your business? I want to guess, she said, how did you know that was going to be my business, right? And how did I come about it? What was my motivation? A very good question, a brilliant one, Siram. When I began Sampon Social Service 2009, that was just a few days after I finished my Bachelor on Social Work and Social Pedagogy. I started working with a very big institution in my area where I am, but I was never fulfilled. Never fulfilled in the sense that I had the impression that some things were missing. But I didn't want to change altogether the structure where I was, because it's not always very easy to bring in change, and not everyone wants a change. So I decided to start it up. Now, the intention was indeed to support the migrants who are living around me, because I experienced a lot of discrimination, a lot of racism. I came to Germany as a young girl, and while in Germany I had practically no counselors. I remember that I wanted to study law, because I did law in Cameroon, and I wanted to continue law here, and someone told me, in Germany, you're a foreigner, you can't do law. And then I said I wanted to become a trainer, a teacher. Then they said the same thing. I wanted to become a journalist. Then they said the same thing. It was at that point that I understood that I needed counselors. I needed people to really support me and to guide me. But we had very few of them. We had very few counselors. We had very few mentors. We had very few coaches around. And so when I finished school, and I was trained in that, so I was very convinced it was time for me to give back to the community what I did not have. So it was for me an additional value to give back to my community. So that was what motivated me, and to today it has really helped me, because I never forget what motivated me and what pushed me to start up my business. So it started like a small thing, and today I'm thankful to God that He has brought us this far. We have opened other businesses apart from the Sumpon Social Service. There are different businesses that I do, and that has all because of the passion that I have to serve humanity, to serve the world, and of course to add value to the lives of people. So that takes us to passion. So if you want to really have a business, then it must be the priority of the business should not only want you to have money, but it should be adding value to the lives of people. Each time we add value to the lives of people, be very sure it has a way of coming back. And therefore, the more people you add value to their lives, I say it often, those are the people that are going to buy your product at the end, because you've added already value to their lives. So they have trusted you. So if you want to start up a business, then be sure that you have to add value And when you've added value, people will trust you, and then they can buy from because they trust you. So you realize that people buy because they trust the people that they are buying from. Right. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant question, Sila. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. So, Elvis, you have been now the jury for the past 3 years. What motivated you? Let me just borrow the question of Sina. What motivated you actually to be a jury in the startup fund, the business masters class, and our startup fund?
I'm a teacher to begin with, and my motivation, equally, I could say I drew it from the powerful way with which you were looking forward to helping the youth, empowering the youth, making them be breadwinners for themselves, and equally looking at 2063, what Africa will be, the type of Africa we want to be, to make it to be for us, and equally for everybody living in Africa. And I thought, with this brilliant idea, it will be a very good thing for me to put in my own best so that we could select projects that are sustainable, projects that can reach out to the communities and equally help those who are around, help equally the project people bring up the project so that they too can be breadwinners for themselves and make Africa what they want, not only thinking that they must travel out before they can make ends meet. I think we make ends meet in Africa, and so projects equally can be sponsored here, and they will be good projects that can equally be valorized by those who are here and equally help them so much. So that was my motivation to equally contribute my little to follow up the youth in their project and make sure that we pitch out the best and equally help those who develop the projects. I think last year we had good projects, and I am sure that they are doing so well because they are sustainable, and equally those who were in the projects were accountable because that is one of the criteria that we need for the winners of this Sompon masterclass that we are about to sponsor again this year.
Mhm. That is true. Thank you so much. It has always been an amazing opportunity to work with you. Capital DVU, you're welcome to our first edition of the Business Talk. And DVU is confirming the fact that we never change the winning team. The Masters class has always been a life changing opportunity. Kudos to the team. Thank you. That is very true. We have so far sponsored or invested in 4 young people, and it has been, of course, it has not always been without its crises and its challenges, but I've been very privileged, and I think that is my own part of the contribution, my own way to contribute to attaining the Agenda 2063. And I must say that it's not because I have all of the money with me and all the money in the world. It is because I just want to add value to the lives of the people and to life of humanity. So if you're listening to me and you're thinking she must get all the monies in the world, that's why she's doing what she's doing. No, it is not true. And that takes me to the fact that money is not everything. It is important, but it's not everything. Why? Because if you go back to attitude, a friend of mine told me some years back that your attitude will determine how far you will go. And that was true. And that is true. Many of us want to start businesses, but we have never worked on our attitude. We've not worked on our personality. In this business world, it's not a place to just come and you're smiling, diggy, and do like if that space was only for you alone. I mean, the space is for the whole world, and everybody have the rights to be there. And for us to be effective, then we have to have an attitude that can really bring us to that point that we want to go. And so it will determine how you collaborate with people. Your attitude will determine how you go about with others. Your attitude will determine how much money you can even have in your account, because we both can be selling the same thing, but you don't have the same amount of money. So it confirms the fact that the ships could be taken out to the market, but they don't have the same cost. So why is it that ship A or person A is going to have much more money than person B? It goes back to value, it goes back to personality, it goes back to the protocols. So if you're listening to me and you say, I am the way I am, I just want to do how I am doing, then be sure that you're not going to go far, because business is not just like that's how I do it, that's how I want to do it, that's how I am. We have to always look at the protocols that are around and work on our personalities, on our identities, so that we can be able to get the best out of it. So, Elvis, maybe you want to say something also on attitude. You were there the last time when Clement, he taught us is very well what how our attitude can bring us to our altitude. Were you there? Can you remember again what he said?
Just to add something, you were talking about attitude and you mentioned already positive attitude. And we equally have believing in yourself. An entrepreneur should be someone who believes in himself beside a positive attitude. And I would wanted to add to that creativity. You should be able to solve problems and equally think differently from others. That's what makes him unique, and he is able to sell equally his product that he has. And equally third on that, I will talk on relationship. He should have a good relationship with his partners, with his customers, and equally with the employees, because those are the people who work the money for you, and you must always treat them very well.
And that takes us, of course, to that would bring us to the objective of the master's class, right? The master's class that is taking place online in August. For the past years, we have been doing that offline. We have been in Cameroon so far, but we intend to go to Ghana, to Namibia, to other parts of the African continent. But unfortunately, with the corona COVID-19, we can't travel to Cameroon this year. So we are going to be doing that online this year from the 17th to the 22nd of August. So if you're here already, just save that date already, because you're going to be meeting men, women, entrepreneurs, not what you hear on Facebook as entrepreneurs, women and men that have put their hands into moths. You know, when we talk of entrepreneurship, people think that is when you put on the coat and you come and stand and then you show the beautiful pictures on Facebook. I mean, branding is good, but I tell you, if you have to be a true business person, then you must put your hands inside the mud. You must put your legs in the mud. You must put on the trousers that you need for it and the boots that you need for it, because some days will be very muddy. So the objectives of the program was very clear. We wanted to provide a solid business and entrepreneur training from well-experienced coaches. We have coaches that come in during this 1 week and they train the people. Those are people like Santa Lucia, for those who are in Cameroon that have businesses, have built businesses that are there and they're going to be doing great things. Those are people like Tantin, Thierry Nyamen that came also and that have done things on themselves. You can see the work they are doing, not just publicity and the branding work, but you can see them add value to the community. You can see them do a lot of stuff. So we get people who have put their hands really into mud, people who began small and then expanded, because it's important to have the right mindset and the right mentors, right? So, and of course, the objective of the program is at the end of the program, the 1 week intensive training, we are going to connect, network. Although those who know me will understand by now that your network is your net worth. So show me the 5 people around you, and I can tell you who you are actually. Now speak of it in a financial sense, speak of it in a spiritual sense, speak of it in any area. If you tell me your 5 friends, and I want you to observe that now, just observe the 5 closest people you have, the people with whom you really share everything, the people that are really close to you. Observe them very, very keenly. You can even calculate their salary, what they earn. If you calculate theirs, you can put them all together and then you can get your own salary in the next 5 years. So you see that it's so important that you surround yourself with the right people. If not, you're going to be making a whole lot of mistakes. And I really want to hope that you who is listening to me, you're not amongst those who want to be the one eye man amongst the blind, no? The only person seeing amongst the blind. Then you'll be making a whole lot of mistakes. Of course, so we create networks, and then we have the coaching, we have the mentorship, and then, of course, the most essential and that everyone is looking up to is the startup fund. Like I said before, the startup fund is my personal gift to the young Africans. And until now, we have been working with the Cameroonians, and it has not always been easy. And I must say this, but it has been a privilege for me to sponsor and to invest in the different projects that we have invested so far. And 2018, we invested in a social project for schools. It was really an amazing project, and like I said, it's a gift for me to the young people so that they don't say I never had the chance, right? And then 2019, we had three wonderful projects, and we invested in them. And for those who are in Europe, I mean, the investment really differs, no, depending on the project. So it depends on how the person could convince us the sustainability of the project, and again, it's not because I have the whole money in the world, and it's not because I don't have what to do with that money. It is because I choose to add value to the lives of my African young people. So if you're listening to me and you're thinking we have to get all the monies in the world before we help some people, then you're making a whole lot of mistakes. And I want us to work on that mindset, because we can't have everything before we help others, right? Elvis, you have
Like,
always managed the project. So how is it going to be this time? Because we are not going to see them to analyze exactly what they're doing. How is it going to be this time?
okay, before I get into that question, I just want to throw more light to say that the first project we sponsored was smart games for children,
Mm,
where we intended that children could play games that will inspire them, that will help them equally to go through their lessons like chess, Scrabble. Some children
mm,
cannot read or spell, and those games were really instructive for them.
mm,
And
mm,
yeah, followed we had, the one that really touched me so much was the Jais Auto project, where the two young guys who worked on this project intended or intend that the spare parts could be acquired online and delivered before payment, because we had a
mm,
how payment was going to be done. And they explained that it was going to be payment upon delivery. This year, to come back to your question, with the pandemic we are going to be having our classes online, or our master class will be online. And we expect that 1 week before the start of the program, we said 17 to the 22nd of August, the projects can already be coming in. There is a link, I'm sure, that is passing under the screen. We can already send our projects through this link, a 2-minute video, a page project proposal on one page, which we are going to study. And even when the classes are already going on, we equally can still accept your projects coming in. So this year is going to take a different tune, but we are still going to be so objective in the way we are going to handle the projects coming in.
Thank you so much. I really hope and I'm praying that we get the right ones. This time we're opening the boundaries. The previous years it has just been Cameroon. So this time we're opening the boundaries. So our brothers and sisters and the different parts of the African country listening to us. I can see Irene. Irene, you're welcome. So motivate your young guys to also take part to join this program, because it can be a life-changing moment for some people. One never know who wins the award or the startup fund from me, but yeah, it can just be someone from us. I can see Sila. Sila says yes, she could also. She's thinking about having a project. Why not? If you intend to have a business, then this master's class is really something you will have to attend, and then of course send your projects to us so that we can analyze it. And like I said, go to the website, to Google, and find out exactly what the Agenda 2063 is, so that you can also know how to put yourself and prepare your project. Um, Now, it is going to be indeed an intensive training. It's really, really intensive. If you're coming and you're saying, okay, what is it? How am I going to gain from this? What is this exactly? I want to start up a business, but I really do not know. I want to encourage you to take this training. Take up the training. It's a 1 week intensive training, workshops, and funding initiative, like I said, for me and for my household, let me say for my family, the Sampons. And this really has to do with a personal initiative, and it is for those who really want to change the environment, for those who really want to impact, and for those who really want to see things happen. So do not get shy to take part. You can go to the website also and just get to research about it to know more about what we are offering, what that is all about. And like I said, we decided to make the Sampon Business Talk because many people are calling me and many people are writing me, and it's so difficult. I really can't attend individual calls again for everybody all the time. So I think that with this platform, it is our platform, it is your platform. This is a new community we are building up, a community of entrepreneurs, a community of great minds, a community of women and men that want to work together and achieve that great Africa continent that we want to achieve. And so don't be left behind, don't be shy, don't be afraid to bring up your ideas, or again to ask us questions. But just that you know, it is so challenging to have to answer everyone individually. And so this now is a new platform. We're going to be meeting every Sunday for questions and answers. And of course, we are going to be talking about the importance of having mentors, trainings, because for you to have a good business and a startup fund, then you have to also be mentally strong, and you also have to have the right attitude to achieve your objectives, right? Elvis, last
Uh,
year we had a dynamic lady, a young girl. This young girl fascinated me. I'm talking about attitude now. But somehow along the line you get disappointed, right? Have you been disappointed before when you really trust the attitude of someone, and then out of nowhere you realize that the person is not what the portrait they were? But then you've already invested your money in their business. How do you go about it?
oh, that has been a very hard nut for us to crack. And I want to say that up to now, we don't yet have the real means to work with that because we're still looking at how she's surviving with the program. And one disappointment we have is that she's not accountable. She doesn't give us record on how the business is going on. And we still have not relented because we had to, based on that, we would have said that the program could end in Cameroon. But one grain cannot spoil, a bag of rice. So we are still hoping that with time she's going to come up again and tell us actually how her business has been moving, and appreciate equally the effort we did to help her to boost her business, because up to now we really can't tell how she is coping. Whereas that was not
Mm-hmm.
objective of the program. We
Mm-hmm.
were intending that you give us account on how you go about the funds that have been given to you, and we equally see that after the funds you are able to continue, in your business. That is what we are expecting to see for those who will be winning this Sompon Masterclass program this year. That you be accountable and let us know that you are succeeding. Because our aim is not to give money, like you said, it's your it's generosity to say that those who participate in this program don't go out or go back empty-handed. So we want to be sure that those who win give us account on how they are going about the business, because when we don't have information, it really is heartbreaking and discouraging that you put in so much money and you can't know how the money is spent, whereas it was for a good purpose. It really is disheartening and sometimes so discouraging. But I want to say that I hail you so much because you have not relented. That has not been a source of discouragement. You still stand with your head so high up, and I want to say kudos to the work you are doing.
Thank you, Elvis. It's a work we are doing all together, and I think that it again comes back to the fact that we need coach. Every one of us needs someone that has to coach them, a mentor, and people we can look up to. Because when we have such people around us, then we can always overcome certain things. Again, money is important, but it's not all. I think that we are learning again that it is good to have money, but it is not everything, right? So let's come back for those who want to know how to do business. I think that it's important for us again to talk a little about the training modules that we are offering during this 1 week internship program. And we're going to be doing that all the time. Even before August, we are going to be talking about the different content of this program. It's going to be very important for those listening to us and who want to truly take part. It's important to know that we have 12 categories of our lives, or 12 dimensions of our lives. If we're talking about success, I know that for many people we define success in a relative objective way, but I think that true success is all round, and it has to do with 12 dimensions. We're going to be discovering these 12 dimensions so that we become very conscious of how we are going about with life and what we are doing in our lives. Then we're going to also be working hard, dealing seriously with how to produce a product or a service. We have the thing, the act, the check again, and then act again. So we are going to be dealing with that and see how do we produce. Do you have a product or do you have a service? So those are two different areas, and they have also two different business models. We're going to show you our one business sample model business page. That with the one business page, it helps you to shape any kind of business wherever you are. So if you're here and you really want to do business and you really want to succeed, then it is an important training for you. I'm seeing Mame Dante. You're welcome, Mame. One of our sisters in the diaspora with a very big organization supporting the migrant African women in Germany. You're doing a good job, Dante. Thank you for being here. And then we're going to be talking about the business communication and negotiation techniques for success, because it's one thing to do and to do business. I really haven't had time to see my brothers and sisters also in the diaspora with all the privileges and the opportunities that are here, that most of the time many have to go through a lot of challenges. And of course, I went through the challenges too, the first 5 years of my business, and then I had to learn the rules and the structures, the games. And so that's what I'm going to be packaging all to give to the people who are going to really take part and who want to really do business. And business is all around kind of business. It can be a business, whether you're helping women, it's business. So you're adding value, and each time you're adding value, it's important that you package it in a fine way so that they can be able to pay for those values you are offering. So we are going to also see the different kinds of fundraising, but most essential is a lobby work. We can't say we are doing business without learning the tools of lobbying. It's so important to understand lobby work. And yeah, I know for many people, they feel that having to do lobby work, you're doing political work, or you're being proud. I don't know how to put it, but you can't do successful business without doing lobby work. So we're going to learn the tricks and the tips of how to do a proper lobby work. And then of course, accountability is and it is amen. If you can't account for what you're doing, for the money I give to you, or for the money we are going to offer to you, then you can't belong to that network, you can't belong to that family, and therefore it becomes very, very difficult. So, but when we account for the things that we do, then it becomes easier, and one can be able to work with you. It goes back again to attitude, right? So attitude determines our altitude. So Elvis, now it's you talking. What about the price? Now, we are not going to talk about any price. We're going to be talking about the value that we are having to offer to these people. And it is also, again, a gift to us. It's a full package. It's a 1 week intensive training program. Don't miss it. It's a free mentorship that you're getting. You have a coaching from the right people, especially those who are, those who are going to attend from Africa. They have the right people. I just gave two names that for those who are in Cameroon, they really should know them. And these guys have done lots of business. They're really doing business. So to have these people coach you, it's just going to be fantastic and amazing. Then we have the opportunity to network with the right people. You can really, in this program, you're going to learn how to select the people you want to be around with. It's not, you should select. You'll be able to say, hey, I want to be with the kind of people, so I don't just want to just be anyhow, when we see the princess of Duchess, um, she was selected her people. That's why she could get married to her prince. And so it's important that we select the kind of environment we want to be, and do not be shy to select. It's self-love, and it's also sustainable. So it's only when you can really have the right people around you that you can also succeed. Then, of course, you're going to benefit from our startup fund. The startup fund is a fund that initiated from myself and my husband. So we are offering that every year to Africans, and usually we put a budget down and say, okay, we're going to give this to the African community in Africa, and we open it to the people. So um, that's it for the discussion and for the presentation. I think we can take some few questions, and at least except you have something to add to it. If not, we can go to some questions and give the chance for those who are listening to us to ask the questions.
Yeah, before the questions start coming in, I wanted to reiterate the importance of participants registering for this program. When it is given free of charge, many people don't take it seriously. So there is going to be a token fee. I call it token because compared to what you are going to gain at the end of this program, if you are not even the winner, just the information you are going to get is already more than money. We said money is not always everything, and so we will be placing a small token for registration, not to scare people who are going to participate, but to make them devoted to this program and really put in their best to follow up, not come today and absent the next day. That's why I want to make it, once you're deciding to come into the program, you are deciding that you are going to go through the program and not being money minded at the end of the day. As we, if you don't win, there is always going to be another chance for you. So we are going to place a small token just as a motivation for those who are going to be participating.
So we can also find our information on our website. If you go to the academy.sompon minus social service, you get more information. That's also one of businesses that we started up, so you can get more information there. So we give time for questions and answers. If you have any questions, you can now come up with your questions, please, so that we can now discuss and exchange. We have just a few minutes ahead of us, and we said that we didn't want to go more than an hour because we don't want to take your precious time and waste your precious energy. So I welcome you again, Irene. I welcome you, Emmanuel Fumban. I welcome you, Mame Dante. I am the pride. You're welcome. I'm seeing you all. Thank you for participating from all over the globus. I thank you so much for being here. And this is not going to be our last talk. It's going to be a weekly talk every Sunday evening. We want to talk about business. We want to talk about attitude, how to be able to prepare ourselves, because we are becoming. So you don't just say you're selling something, you become something, and then what you become start bringing in the money that you are looking for. Elvis, anything else?
Uh, Not yet. I'm waiting for the questions to come.
Yes, we have a question, not a question, a remark from Esther Samson Ukaria. She says, in my country, some business suffer due to accountability. My dear, it's not only your country, it is in most part of the project or businesses really suffer accountability. In regards to your female student, permit me to say that if the student has great potential, perhaps you can teach her accountability through assessment and feedbacks. I enjoyed your talk, Vera and her colleague. Thank you, Esther. Of course, that's what we're still doing. We're not giving up on our students and on our alumni. We are never giving up on them. But like we said, attitude is important. So if the person wants to learn, you are ready to teach. You can't take a horse to the stream and force them to dream, right? But thank you, Esther. That's really a big challenge, and we are working towards that. Thank you so much.
As the questions keep coming, I wanted to equally emphasize the fact that this program is an open program and it's not based on any qualification. So people should be encouraged to participate in this program. There are no
Thank you.
limit, no academic limit. Everybody is welcome to participate and win equally during this section of some point masterclass.
Thank you. A question is coming from Fombal Emmanuel. Does the program give priorities to particular projects?
I was just already about answering that question. There are no priorities. All projects are welcome in any domain. You're welcome, and we will treat your program just like any other program. So do not hesitate to present any project or program that you have in mind. So gender doesn't matter, qualification, educational background doesn't matter. All we want is a sustainable project, a sustainable program that will equally benefit those who are around and make Africa what we want it to be.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for the question. We can see that from the past projects that we have funded. The first year was a social project in the schools. The second year we had also the online project with Just Auto House, and then we also had a very interesting project with the pedicure, fesicure, manicure. I just used to put them under all the cues. So you see, the project don't really have a specific area. The essence of the project or our startup fund is to really support the persons behind. That's why we go back again on dealing with the attitude, and that's why we give this platform to share with the audience, to share with the students, train them, teach them what it means. And it may interest you to know we really do practical work a lot. I remember last year I took my students out and I asked them, they had to go on the street to beg for a cab to drive them somewhere else. Or again, and the same 1 week, they had to beg for money to start up their business. And so many of them were, what do we have to beg for? And that takes me to my golden rule. You can't succeed in business if you don't know how to ask. And you can call it like you want to call it, but asking is begging. Begging, we beg in different forms. The millionaire begs in a different style. The beggar that sits on the street and begs a different style. But all that is called begging. So you can brand your begging. When I offer, we had a project last time where we share meals to mothers in Cameroon because of the COVID-19 problem. We were begging. So we begged for money from donors, we begged, we pleaded, and they gave us, and we want to help other people, right? So we all are begging in different forms. If you just will have this in your mind, then you will no longer be ashamed to beg, because begging, we all beg in different styles. Elvis, you want to say something?
We have a question coming in from former Emmanuel. Is the choice of selection dependent on the budget of projects? I think to answer this question, we will not be giving you 2 millions if your project is 500,000. So they are sponsored according to need of the project. They give you just sufficient funds that can run your project through. We won't be giving you too much money when you don't want too much money. That will be equally depriving another person from benefiting from this startup program.
Exactly. So that is very important. Elvis, thank you for really taking note of that question. I mean, if someone needs 200 euros, why give them 3,000 euros, right? And if someone needs 3,000 euros, then give the in the pay you have it there, you give the 3,000 euros or whatever euros. So I don't think that we are going to select depending on the budget of the project. But I think that it's important for us to understand that it's a package. It's not only the fund. So if you're coming only because of the fund, then you're already making a very big mistake, because we have also the networking that is going to give you accessibility to the right kind of people, and that is usually even much more important than the fund, because if you meet the right person and you know how to beg, I precise beg. If you know how to beg, then you can be able to have your project sponsored. So we will be teaching you how to beg and how to beg professionally.
Another question on there. He says, does it require any amount to start any project? Does it require, or does it require, that I think that is what he wants to write, any amount to start any project? Of course, all the projects will not begin with the same amount of money. Each project is how do I put it? Is specific to the type of funds and the type of products you want to produce, and so your sponsoring or the amount of money that you need to begin with will be subjective to that the project you have in hand. All the projects won't have the same funding, of course. Like you said already,
Exactly.
package, and we equally will be rational in the way we are going to share the package. You may not have all the money at the blow, but bet us once you are selected and we agree that the money is going to come in, it is going to come in due time.
Exactly. And this time, even like we learned from our mistakes. I think that last year we just gave all the monies and the people did. I think that they got the money all and then realized that and thought that life is just too easy, right? So they just got it all and then did what some of them did what they wanted to do with it, which is unfortunate. But this time we're going to be very, very strategic in how we invest the money and how we give in the money. But like I said, we're going to judge that from the attitude in during this seminar. So we are only going to fund those that are going to take part in our seminars, in our training, because only there can we develop a relationship. So again, business is about relationships. And show me your network and I tell you your net worth. So I think it's already 1 hour. We do not have any other questions, and therefore I want to thank everyone. Elvis, do you have a last word before we close for tonight?
Hello, hello.
Yes. Is someone talking?
Hello?
Yes, Elvis, do you have a last word before we are closing for tonight? So, Sally is asking the question, is the seminar the lives? Yes, the seminar is going to be an online program this year. We have it on the academy. So check our academy dot sompon minus social service.org. You can see that also on the banner below the screen. We're going to have a 1 week intensive live program, and I'm going to be there with other trainers and other teachers who will be training you in the diverse areas, how to create a network, how to select the right people, and it's going to be a whole package. Let's put it, it's a package. Well, we're going to have how to look for funds. Most of us have a lot of possibilities, and also the cell phones, and up to now we are using that not really as it ought to be. So I think we don't have any more questions, and I didn't want to take much of your time because we are going to be meeting every Sunday here live to have a conversation with you and to help you, to mentor you. If you have questions in diverse areas, especially on business, they will be able to answer those questions here. We're going to be discussing business here, and we're going to be finding the possible ways to fund your project, be it especially for those in Africa. I mentioned particularly those in Africa because I repeat again, those who are in the diaspora, there are other projects for you, there are other funding possibilities for you. So this one, the Sumpon Startup Fund, is really a program for the young Africans in Africa. Remember, we do not want to have the blame game played here, and so that's our own way to support our continent. Elvis, you're back again. A last word from you, please, so we can close.
I want to begin end by thanking all those who participated today. Like you said, the blame game, we don't want it. We want each and everyone who is going to participate to be, confident, motivated that this year is going to be his or her year. And with that, we are going to put everything together so that we prepare a good project and looking not just on ourselves, but how this project can be sustainable and equally give us the satisfaction that we deserve from this project.
Thank you so very much, Elvis. That was my co-host, and thank you so much, Batemona Abeke, for taking part. Thank you all, my brothers and sisters. We are a family and a bigger family. You're part of my family, and I'm grateful that I have you. Without you, I am nothing, and so we are building up together for the interest of our continent. Thank you so much. And we are meeting next Sunday again, same time. Come with your questions. And it is a pleasure having you all. God bless you. And we meet next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.